What is money? Or another way to ask this is money even real?
No,
Okay.
it's made up. The government just prints more of it, so it's imaginary.
That is true.
Well,
That is my opinion of it. So,
and I don't go as in depth as people like Robert Kiyosaki, talk about coming off the gold standard and how it's not tied to anything. And I think he has a great point, is that if they can just print more of it, then hoarding money makes no sense. And if you think about, if you had $1 million and you were sitting in a bank account and your $1 million has a certain amount of purchasing power, and I'm the government and I don't have $1 million, but I can just click a button and now I have $1 million, your $1 million is no longer worth as much. And I know that's a dramatic example, but on a macro scale, that's how it works. When they print more money, the value of your money now goes down. And so people who are saving their money then are essentially just losing purchasing power. And that's how inflation works.
so I looked it up before this just to see, because you hear the numbers online, and I looked up the M2 money numbers, which is basically what drives inflation. How much money is in the system is what the M2 value is. So in December 2019, so prior to COVID, we had $15.32 trillion in circulation in America. Now, as of 2 months ago, now in January, it was 20.78 trillion. So it is going up 33% in 5 years, less than 5 years, just over 4 years, really. It's gone up 33% from way back in, dawn of America. So that just amplifies that's using hard numbers to amplify what you're saying. It's not, and people wonder why we have inflation at 10, 12, 14%, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just out of control that we put all that money into circulation. The money has to go somewhere. Things have to settle, and it settles in inflation, if you will. It settles in the rich people's bank account.
And people see the cost of everything going up, and they think, oh, inflation is just everything's expensive now. But when you look at the supply and demand dynamic of how the economy works, and this is much more your lane, Mr. MBA. But correct me where I fall off. But the way that I explain it to the kids is, let's say that someone's selling a candy bar for $1, and you and each of your siblings all have $1. You all have the equal opportunity to compete for that one candy bar. But as soon as now everyone there has $10, that $1 for a candy bar doesn't mean anything. So they can raise the price on it because they have a low supply. There's a high demand for it. And that candy bar now goes for $4 or $5. But also at the same time, all the back end is the cost to produce that candy bar goes up, because now employers have to pay more because the cost of living goes up, and everything follows this cycle of, that's why it all gets more expensive. And so on the caveat, during COVID, it was necessary to print that money, because when money, in order for money to grow, it has to flow.